I said, good evening, Laymore. Are you ready for a party? It's everyone's favourite part of the wedding. It's the speeches. And let me tell you, we have got one hell of a lineup for you tonight. We've got the father of the bride speaking. We've got the father of the groom speaking. We've got the man of the hour himself, the groom, Mr. McKernan speaking. We have a few words from yours truly. And then, to close everything off, we've saved the best for last. That would be the best man himself, Connor Deacon. So, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Without further ado, let's get the ball rolling, and I'll hand the microphone to Canon John Budd to say a few words.
Connor and Harriet, ladies and gentlemen, ta anfáilte roimh a lig in Ewan Shaw. Or in other words, I'm not going to say anything derogatory about Arsenal Football Club. First of all, a couple of thank yous to Connor. Firstly, Connor, thank you very much indeed for this lovely suit which you bought me. I was in need of a new suit, and this fits the bill entirely. And then secondly, thank you for taking my daughter off of our hands. Mind you, it was a long time coming, wasn't it?
Not as long as Peter.
Clifford earlier was talking about that old farmer. I was just wondering whether you were descended from an old farmer, and whether that was the reason for the delay in the proposal.
Head down.
Now, Harriet, for as long as she can remember, has been suffering from what she calls second child syndrome. And she was, in fact, the only one of our three children whose birth I wasn't present at. We were living at the time at Craig's Rectory outside Cullybackey, but Carla was booked into the Jubilee Maternity Hospital in Belfast. And in the end, the labour went ahead more quickly than we were anticipating. We actually arrived at the hospital 12 minutes before she was born. And I then had to go to my mother-in-law's house to leave Peter off. And so by the time I got back to the Jubilee Hospital, everything was over and done with. But anyway, that apart, we're very proud of Harriet and all that she's done over the years. I remember for most of the time that we lived in for a lot of the time we lived in Cullybackey, she was a member of the local Girls Brigade Company. And one year at the annual display, one of the items was do this, do that. So a fairly big company, but of course, as the thing proceeded, more and more of the girls made a mistake and had to sit down. And then in the end, there was little Harriet Budd, one of the smallest members of the company, and another girl who was about twice as big and twice as old as she was. So it went back and forth, and in the end, it was the other girl who cracked first. So Harriet, one of the smallest girls in the company, was the one who came out on top. But Harriet didn't only set the world on fire. There was the occasion when she set herself on fire. We had introduced Christingle services to the church in Cullybackey. And as you may know, a Christingle is a decorated orange with a lighted candle on the top. The first occasion we did this, the Sunday school children all got their Christingle and they were lined up along the centre aisle of the church. And I did say to the adults, now just watch out for any any young child near to you in case anything happens. And then we sang the Christingle hymn, and during the hymn I realized there was something happening at the back of the church, and it was happening to poor Harriet. She had set herself on fire. But there was a very nice man called Mervyn Cowan. Some of you will remember his late brother, Barry Cowan, who was on the BBC. And Mervyn very kindly put her out. So, there we are. Anyway, from Cullybackey we moved to Derryachy, and of course she followed her elder brother Peter through from one school to the next. And when she got to Laurel Hill High School, now you see there are advantages and disadvantages of having an uncommon surname. And the first time the teachers were calling the roll, Harriet Budd, you're not related to him, are you? But of course she was. But anyway, she got past that, and from there she went to the university at Coleraine, and then of course Connor came onto the scene. But it wasn't a romance that started rapidly. They built a foundation. They got to know each other in other ways, and over the years I've thought that was a very good thing to happen, because it meant that, as I say, they had a solid foundation for their relationship. And of course, the couple that reminds me of are William and Kate. Prince William and Kate Middleton. So there you are, Connor. There you are, Connor. Next time you see those photographs of the Queen and Mary McAleese greeting each other, you may just remember that little remark. But in time, romance followed. And you know the saying that people, you know the way that some people put it on these occasions, oh, such and such has really become just like a member of our family. And I've thought about that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because every parent knows that every boy and girl is different. And that applies to Connor and the members of our family as well. Peter and Matthew and Connor all get on very well. They don't necessarily agree with each other. In fact, Peter and Matthew don't necessarily agree with each other, but they respect each other and they get on, and that is, that gives us a very good feeling. We brought 3 of our own children into the world, and then the family circle expanded when Hannah and Peter started to go together, and now it's expanded again. And we've got 5 young people whom we're all very proud of, and they respect us, they show us affection, they show us consideration. And I think one thing I would like to say at this point is that a couple of years ago when Carla had her health problems, Connor was very considerate, showed her a great appreciation and gave her her place, and made her feel that he was supporting her. And I can't really express too highly my sort of feelings about him in that respect. Right, I've been on my feet for a few minutes now. I think it's probably time for me to sit down. But just a parting shot to Connor. Let's put it like this, Connor. You look after my daughter, and I'll look after the suit. Thank you.
Father of the bride there, ladies and gentlemen, the Canon John Budd. Let's have a round of applause. Beautiful words, make a grown man cry. Tradition dictates that our next speaker would usually foot the bill for the wedding. Now, were this the case, the service would take place in Madden's and the reception would be in Kelly's. It's a man who really needs no introduction. Wonderful father, a great uncle, father of the groom. I give you Sean McKernan.
Hey, Mark. What's that for? What's that? You smoke it? Emmett, you're doing a fantastic job. Listen, it's wonderful to be here, and I don't think I have my glasses on here. Hello, my name's Sean. I'm the very proud father of Connor, my oldest son. It's a very happy occasion for me and my family, and I would like to thank everyone for putting their glad rags on, skillfully hiding their carryouts, and joining us here today to celebrate the wedding of Connor and Harriet. So let me tell you how Connor was invented. As his mother, Elaine, so kindly pointed out to me, it was a type error, by the way, Connor.
Hi, Connor. What do you hear that?
It was Saturday the 13th of June, 1991. Elaine, it's 1981. You know.
Connor, he
Which-
has 1992 down.
Typing error. Which started as a very calm day for me. Feeling like a child on Christmas Eve as I awaited the birth of my first child. Eventually, Connor, with a lot of help from his mother, Elaine, came roaring and screaming into our lives. He was full of joy and wonderment, but continued to scream his head off for almost every night for what seemed like an eternity. After a few years of sleepless nights, we decided to put him into a nightly solitary confinement. He was born on the same day an almighty destructive storm called Hurricane Charlie hit Ireland. It caused havoc. Floods, trees were flung from their roots, and it also tore the roof of my caravan in Cowshandall. A few years ago, after painting Kelly Cellars, Connor asked me why his name was spelt with two N's as opposed to one N. To be honest, my starting strategy was to call all my children with a name starting with the letter C. Simply as a way of helping me to remember all their names, check their mail, and confuse the cops if they ever called on my door. Anyway, getting back to that Peyton Kelly's, and to answer Connor's query about his name, I informed him he was very lucky his name wasn't called Charlie. After the hurricane, they smashed into my caravan. In fact, I should have called him Cowshandall.
Were you in Cowie's when you wrote that?
I should have been. It'd have been another 5 pages. It's stick and door type. Thankfully, the hurricane disappeared, and Connor finally calmed down. And I, through my hurricane-proof and indestructible rosy-tinted glasses, the sun now shines brightly out of his arsenal. And he never brought the cops to my front door. All joking aside, Connor, you're an outstanding young man. Sweet, kind, handsome. Where was I? Intelligent and considerate. Also extremely talented and capable in your profession of media and film. I'm forever proud to call you my son, and I love you very dearly. I really love you very dearly. It's a love that I share with your brothers and sisters, Cormac, Clodagh, Finbar, and Ethan, and my beautiful new daughter-in-law, Harriet. Now, I would like to formally welcome Harriet into the McKernan family. I have seen Harriet and Connor's love grows since they first met at university. At least it taught you something up there. Connor is very lucky to have you as his wife. You're a very thoughtful, caring, funny, and charming young lady. With a beautiful soul, who is blessed with a very supportive and loving family. It's been great getting to know your parents, John and Carla. And I appreciate all they have done for you and my son, you and our wee Connor, over the years, and their great effort in helping to make this a very special day. On behalf of myself and Lane, we don't consider you as in-laws, but family. And finally, when I look at you and Connor, Harriet and Connor today, what impresses me the most is the childlike enthusiasm and zest for life that both of you share. And so, I say to you now, cherish that enthusiasm, nurture it, and don't ever change. So let us raise a glass today and toast a congratulations to the newly married Mr. and Mrs. Connor and Harriet McKernan. And let the games begin. Everyone, thanks for reading that.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Sean McKernan. I think it goes without saying that today was definitely a day that none of us thought we were ever going to see. And I think you know what I'm talking about, guys. With everything that's went on, everything that's happened, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Who would have thought that Conor McKernan would have finally found a woman that would marry him? And he's found one hell of a woman in Harriet. So far we've had father of the bride, we've had father of the groom. Are you ready for a really special speech? I'm talking about possibly the best speech you're going to hear all day. I'm talking about the undeniable, the unstoppable, the unforgettable. Ladies and gentlemen, the groom himself, Conor McKernan.
So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody else coming from England. My wife and I would love to welcome you all here to the Laymore today in Ballymena. It's fantastic after the year we've all had, just to look down and just see an ocean of people, friends and family together. It really does mean the world to us, so thanks for coming. Before I get into the bridesmaids, the grooms, and just how much Harriet means to me, there's a few people we should thank. Elwood and Copper, cheers, that limo was class, unreal. Thank you. But the gesture isn't lost, and we're all here, so we couldn't be here without you, so thanks. Pop Photography, Kieran, Tristan, Karen for picking us up last minute. I've worked weddings with you for so long, so it's just great to share it with all you. Brian out there painting, Clifford for his handling of the ceremony today. So he's out there somewhere, so shout out to Cliff. And then obviously a shout out to my brothers and the groomsmen for what they've done today, so thanks. So obviously thanks to my new father-in-law, John, my dad and Emmett for the Master of Ceremonies. So as John was saying, it took a while for me to ask Harriet to marry me, kind of like Peter. Aged like a fine wine, that relationship. And John's a big West Ham supporter. I follow Arsenal. And I can remember the moment whenever I thought, right, I need to ask John's permission to marry his daughter. Not that he wouldn't have signed her off to me anyway. But I invited him down one Sunday, Super Sunday, Arsenal West Ham, with the sole intentions of asking for Harriet's hand in marriage. So he came down, bit of grub, whatever, and the tension just kept building, because I knew at some point I'd be asking him a question. She wouldn't fuck off. Every 2 minutes, do you want a cup of tea, Daddy? Do you want a biscuit? Do you want this? She wouldn't leave us alone. Honestly. So eventually she went in to get a shower, and the moment was there, they asked John for his blessing. So whenever I asked him the question, keep in mind we're watching the football, just said to him, John, I'm going to ask Harriet to marry me. It'd be nice to get a blessing. Whenever I said that, his face was one of joy, surprise, and confusion. West Ham went 1-0 up. I think it's the last time you beat us, and that's 2 years ago. So it's safe to say that John gave me his blessing, and I just want to promise him I'll love and cherish his daughter for the rest of our lives. John, he had also touched on Carla's illness, and I'd just like to mention what a wonderful woman my new mother-in-law is. Not only for the role that she played in raising and nurturing her daughter, but for the strength and fortitude that you've shown over your 2 battles with cancer. So to see you here right now, it means the world to me and Harriet. So, well done, Carla. It must be such a joy for John and Carla that I have a son that's over 5'5" and has an Irish passport. To my own parents, I can't thank them both enough for all they've done for me, my siblings bringing us up. I'm a mummy's boy at heart, so it really fills me with pride to stand here today before my mum, to be a married man. So much of these... I'll get to that. So much of the characters that just make you wonderful, your endless capacity for love, your kindness to anyone who asks for it. I see it in Harriet, and yeah, it just makes me so happy that I found a wife that has so many strong characteristics that you have. So thank you so much. Do you need a minute? Do you need to tie? I haven't forgot about you, Dad, don't worry. You were sound too. I always remember the weekends away with Cormac and Emmett, anything, and Maeve as well. You were always there every weekend taking us away, and that's not lost on me. The bond we have with photography is something that will last a lifetime, and so just thanks for instilling that passion with me, and we'll always share that. So thank you. You might need a tissue here, Harriet. So in Ireland, as families grow up, it's often the case that we're only brought together by death, marriage, and a baby. And while we'll get to the baby later on tonight, I couldn't pass up the opportunity to just draw a wee moment of reflection for the grandparents and family that we've lost. More recently, Harriet's grand Dorothy and her uncle Colin, who passed away very recently. Both set of grandparents were taken far too early, and we would have gave everything. We'd have gave the post box and more just to have them here for half an hour, just for the speeches. So the love they've shown to both our parents and to us, and I would just like everyone just to stand up for our grandparents and just raise a drink. So cheers to those that can't be here today. Cheers. Cheers. I told you needed a tissue for that part. And now on to the bridesmaids. Today wouldn't be possible without the support shown by Rachel, Holly, Clodagh, and my new, are we brothers, sister-in-laws now, Hannah? How does it work? And the Hannah. Those of you that know Harriet well will know that common sense and rationale escapes her in times of stress, and planning a wedding during a pandemic, there's a lot of stress. So for Rachel, in particular, I want to make a shout out to you. Her and her husband Emmett just gave birth just under a month to a beautiful baby girl, Lucy. So Rachel, given everything that's going on, you've just had a baby. I can't imagine how you've managed to prepare Harriet for tonight. For a wedding, cancelling the hen do, well, postponing the hen do, and then juggling a constantly crying, emotional, hungry, and tired baby. All of this while being a mother to Lucy. So for Rachel, Holly, Clodagh, and Hannah, thank you so much from both me and my wife. You look stunning, and I can't thank you enough. So if everyone just wants to raise a glass to the bridesmaids. I haven't wrote this bit down. This is the best man. What can I say? The selection pool was pretty short. I mean, I was his best man. Process of elimination, you have to give someone who can actually tell a joke, do a speech. I won't be afraid of it. And honestly, he's been so calm throughout all of this, always asking if there's anything he can do. I can't thank you enough for staying awake until 6:45. If you got the sweepstake before 7 o'clock, tough luck. If not, you're in the money. He's just been brilliant. He's been, ever since he sauntered in through the doors to CBS to swipe our IMAX, he's just been there, ever present for both me and Harriet over the last 8 years. So we can't thank him and his wife enough for being there when the limo failed to get us to the church on time. So I don't want to big him up too much because I don't know how our speech is going to go. He's a bag of props here. It could go either way. So thanks so much for me and Harriet for being here. I've went down the sentimental route because I'm assuming your speech is going to be funny as fuck. So so thanks so much to you for being here. If you had 2 ends, it might have been even better, mates, but there we go. And finally, to Harriet, guys, I mean, look at her. My only regret, as John said, is not getting the finger out quicker than Peter and doing this a lot sooner than it did. But honestly, she's just absolutely gorgeous. She's the kindest, most gentlest, caring person I've ever met. She gives a bit of her heart to everyone, and I'm just glad to have all of it to myself for the rest of our lives. Are you about to go again? Yeah? You get your tears all over your dress. Your nose is going. So, yeah, I don't want to go on too long. I could genuinely stay here all day and talk about how amazing she is and how much I love her. But she's my wife, my best friend. Hopefully the mother of my children at one point. And, yeah, just seeing her coming up the aisle today just made all the panic and all the stress worth it, and definitely worth the wait finding you. So everyone, please stand up, raise a glass to my new wife, you and your new friend, Mrs. McKernan, to McKernan. I'm out.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the groom himself, the man of the hour, the incomparable Conor McKernan. I didn't know you could speak so well, mate. Who wrote that for you? Oh, okay.
It's my hand, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you can probably tell, I'm not really much of a public speaker. But I would feel remiss if I didn't say a few words, and if you'll indulge me for a few moments, I would like to pay tribute in my own way to Conor and Harriet. For those of you that don't know, Conor and I are cousins. I am the younger, more handsome, generally nicer cousin, and Conor is the bigger and supposedly wiser cousin. We had no choice in the matter. We are cousins by birth. His mother and my mother are sisters, and on top of that, my mother is Conor's godmother, and Conor's mother is my godmother. Now, for anyone that's getting confused, it's just a Catholic thing. We are really big on godparents. I almost got confused myself. So as I say, cousins by birth, but I feel that we became brothers by choice. And we came up together. We were reared together, you could say. And we were thick as thieves as children, with emphasis on the thick. And then we became teenagers, young men, if you will. And we got even thicker. Well, I know I did anyway. And we got up to all manner of hijinks and mischief and gallivanting. And believe you me, I could end this marriage right here tonight. And I could see Connor squirming.
Don't do it, man.
I could see Connor squirming. Because I know where all the bodies are buried. I know all the secrets. I have the big bag of memories. You remember the bag?
No, I use my dice every 5 years. Where's the mannequin? God knows where it is.
But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to do that. Through Connor, I then met Harriet, and I've had the immense pleasure of knowing Harriet for almost 10 years now. And we both share a similar bond. We both have a very high tolerance for Connor. Because believe you me, after 28 years, I can tell you, he can be hard work when he wants to be. And the fact that Harriet is sitting here today, looking beautiful, I should say, and not sat in a padded room in Knockbracken, is really testament to just how patient she can be. But she really is a credit to her family. Her father, John, her mother, Carla, her brothers, Matthew and Peter. And I think I can speak for our ones when I say that for the longest time before today, we have considered her family. We've only made it official today. So, from myself, I just wanted to use to know we love yous, we wish yous nothing but the best. Stay true to each other, enjoy today, enjoy each other, and we love you. Thank you. That's all from me. Somebody cutting onions up here or what? Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we're almost at a close with the speeches. You may be glad to know, I don't know. But as I said earlier, we have saved the best for last. This man, what can I say about this man? He is the best man. He's brought a bag of tricks with him, so you better strap in, have a drink handy, because up next we have the one and the only, the best man, Connor Deacon. Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Deacon!
Hello. So, quick disclaimer. This speech ain't polite and it ain't pretty. So what I've actually fairly kindly done is I bought a whole jug of earplugs. So anybody that doesn't want to listen to it are more than welcome to come up here and get this here. Clifford, I'm looking at you, big man. Disclaimer out of the way, anything I say is good going. You want one? No? Everyone want to listen to it?
We're all ears.
All ears, all good. Right? No comeback. That's all I'm saying. Just want to start by saying a massive congratulations to Connor and Harriet. And don't all those bridesmaids and mothers look absolutely beautiful? And can we not just stop for a wee minute and just appreciate how stunning Harriet is today? Just give her a wee minute of appreciation. Now, for those that haven't had the pleasure of meeting me, I'm Connor with one N. And two N's over there has finally admitted that I'm the better man. Sorry, best man. It's often said that the best man's speech is the worst 5 minutes of the groom's life. And the worst 5 minutes of Harriet's life is about to come later on, if they go back to that previous. Now, this is the wedding that most of us thought would never go ahead. And I'm not talking about COVID. Talking about the fact that it finally took them about 7 years to ask the question. Joking aside, it's no small feat what Connor and Harriet have achieved here today. Not only did they organise an absolutely beautiful wedding, with a global pandemic going on, not knowing how many guests they could have, not knowing even if they could have music, but they've actually achieved something that the late Ian Paisley could not. They've got both sides together in a room in Ballymena. It didn't come to me as shock that Connor asked me to be his best man. He was my best man, so he had to ask me. But I am truly honoured. Connor is my best mate. He's a great friend. He's loyal, he's caring, he's reliable. All qualities that's going to make him a great husband to Harriet. And Harriet, my wee darling, she is genuinely the loveliest person I've ever met. She's thoughtful, she's patient, and she always puts others first. All qualities that she's going to need to put up with Connor for the rest of her life. Me and Connor have known each other for about 15 years. 15 long years. The year we met, Arsenal actually got to the Champions League final. I know. And that's been, about 5 years since they've even qualified. Let's just hope that Connor's fall from grace is not as swift and harsh as that of his beloved Arsenal. It's customary for the best man to tell a few embarrassing stories about the groom, but in doing so, I will incriminate myself. So, I cannot tell you all about that time in Amsterdam that we took shrooms and we chased the swans up and down the canals for about 3 hours. I definitely cannot tell you about that tasteful show that we went to see where the lovely lady done the magic tricks with the ping pong balls. And I really cannot tell you about the strippers in Poland.
That was your stag do.
But I still can't tell them about it. But what I can tell you is that me and Connor have had a lot of great times. And now unfortunately I'm going to have to cut the evening strings. Harriet, is your problem now? A lot of people say that things change after you get married. And having been married for 3 great years, I can tell you that's not the case. Don't change at all. Apart from one thing. Those kinky Wednesday night blowjobs will now be reserved for special occasions only. Maybe birthdays and Christmas. Now, thankfully, Harriet, that is me done and dusted. Speech is over. So if you could all please join me in raising the glass for Connor and Harriet. But first, one thing.
I believe in a thing called love. Just a little bit of love. With a chance we can make it now. We're looking for the Sunday's gold. I believe in a thing called love.
To Connor and Harriet.